GeeksforGeeks has a challenge for you, the 390 challenge. Choose what you want to learn in 2024 and aim to complete at least 90% of the course in the next 90 days. And if you do that, you get back 90% of what you paid for the course. We believe you can do that. Now all you got to do is commit to your success, commit with Geeks4Geeks. Geeks4Geeks has a challenge for you, the 390 challenge. Choose what you want to learn in 2024 and aim to complete at least 90% of the course in the next 90 days. And if you do that, you get back 90% of what you paid for the course. We believe you can do that. Now all you got to do is commit to your success, commit with Geeks4Geeks.
So at the stage, yep. Now is our audio fine enough? Let us just check quickly. Just give me a quick one. We don't want to wait.
Yeah, now
Yep. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today we have a very interesting topic, that is DSA or CP enough to crack a job in recession? So let me elaborate that so that you get the idea of what you would be getting in this stream. So a person who saw that DSA and CP rankings are very much important and they can land you in high paying jobs. They saw it and they did CP or DSA for the entire duration of their college time. So now, is that enough? And I would, being a 23 graduate ourselves, we know what the scenario is currently because we too were also facing it. Okay, fair, fine enough. So let's start off with the introduction. Yash, Dwivedi, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. So hi everyone. My name is Yash Dwivedi. Currently, I'm working as a SD at Geeks4Geeks. And Siddharth Hazra, you can introduce yourself as well. Although this name needs no introduction, but still.
No, absolutely not. So, hi, I'm Siddharth Hazra. Currently, I'm an SD at Geeks4Geeks. Besides that, I'm also a candidate master at Code Forces, and I have been in the teaching industry for more than 3 years. So, can you just explain your CP experiences too? Because we would be talking about it.
Yes, but before that, since we had a audio issue in between, so we forgot to mention that everyone can give us a +1 if they are excited for this stream, as well as you can hit the like button, guys, so that YouTube can push this video. Okay, and you can keep on posting your doubts regarding CPDSA and development, other things, so that we will take a Q&A at the end of the day. And yes, Siddharth, as you rightly mentioned, so what happens is mostly we have been focused on preparation for product based companies, right? These days there is a trend to go in product based companies, so mostly companies do ask DSA. So we have like for the past 1, 2 or 3 years we did have a pattern that people were only preparing for DSA based roles. Right now the thing is that after that the trend changed after lockdown. What happened, since many every person started doing DSA, so what happened was, since every person started doing DSA, so because of that like DSA became a common thing, and now companies are looking for something more. Like some companies are like Udan and Flipkart, they have added LLD rounds in their interview process. Some companies have added product based like in some product based companies there are now development rounds or take home assignments are there. So yeah, you can elaborate further, Siddharth.
Okay, so just a quick heads up that the questions you asked won't be ignored, and we would be bookmarking the question. Whenever we are out of the context, then we would start replying the Q&A, And then the talking about Ashutosh Pandey, yep, what are the tech stack you guys are using? We can't reveal the tech stack at this point because it's on the company policies. But we both belong from the back end. Okay, no one is a front end guy here. We both are a back end guy. So let's start off with this thing. So the agenda of today would be that we would be first talking that what you can do with only DSA even at this point. We would be first taking up this. What only DSA can take you where at this point. And what happened was being so I started off and we saw that Google takes all the rounds as DSA just 1 or 2 years before. Microsoft was taking all the rounds of DSA, and then we saw that DSA is the only gateway to get into high tech companies. And being good at DSA kind of tells me that if I want to be very proficient with DSA, I need to be very good with some so-called like CP rankings or stuff. And we started chasing all the rankings. Okay. So first let us talk about what only DSA can take you. Yep.
Where only DSA can take you, right?
Yeah.
So as Siddharth mentions, like how many of you are there who are only doing DSA? They can write a +1 in the chat. Okay, just wanted to or you can write in the chat if you do DSA. Let's say you can comment DSA. If you are doing dev, so you development, then you can comment DEV in the chat, so so that just we can have an idea also. Okay, then I will elaborate further on this part as Siddharth mentioned, right? So Ashutosh is saying that he is doing DSA. Others can also tell us, okay, if you are doing development, so you can write dev in the chat. If you're doing DSA, you can write DSA in the chat, because we want this to be interactive and not a monologue from our side only.
Yep.
Right. So as you rightly mentioned, Siddharth, what DSA can do. So in my life and in your life as well, since I know you for almost 3 years now, so DSA can, like, you can make a career out of DSA and competitive programming for sure, as of now, and at least for the next 10 years as well. And
what are the options?
What are the options, right? So suppose if I'm someone who has done well in terms of competitive programming and who has done well in terms of let's say if I've done well in DSA and I have also done a bit of competitive programming, so there are basically, I would divide it into 3 parts, right? The 3 parts, the first part basically is being a problem setter. So you can either become a problem setter. What do I mean by a problem setter?
Where you would be setting problems.
Yeah, firstly I'll
I think we can just speak slowly at this
yeah,
point.
obviously I have a habit of speaking at 2x, right? So yes, basically the thing is that firstly you can see, I'll firstly talk about the 3 major things that are there, and then I will elaborate those domains further.
Okay.
Right? So firstly you can be a problem setter. Okay. Then secondly, after doing DSA and competitive programming as well, apart from being problem setter, you can be a technical
where you would be setting problems for whom?
Like I'll discuss this in detail. We'll discuss all the points in detail, but firstly let's mention
Give
those
an
points.
overview.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can be a problem setter, you can be a technical content writer, you can be a mentor, or you can be a teaching assistant. These are the 4 roles that are there. Okay, now we will elaborate, and we will basically deep down into each and every topic in detail. Now, what does it mean when it comes to being a problem setter? Right. So in GFG, right, in GFG, if you type GFG practice, right, so all of you must have seen those problems that are there on GFG, DSA based problems, right?
COD, on weekly coding.
Yes. So basically you will see, like, let's say largest subarray with 0 sum, okay, or Cadence algorithm 2 sum problem, 3 sum problem, or any problem that is there, right? So obviously there must be someone who would be preparing those problems, right? And obviously you might think that these are standard problems. Once you will prepare them, then you will not need it again. But that is not the case. Actually, what happens is every company who is into edtech and who is into DSA and CP, it needs problem setters regularly. Yeah. Why? Because you like, if you will see, we have weekly contests at GeeksforGeeks as well. So what happens there is, basically you have got like new problems. You need people to make new problems around DSA. Okay. So you need someone who can frame a problem around that. Okay. Then after that, you need someone who can write a code for that, test the code, and not only test the code in a particular language, but all the 3, 4, 5 major languages that are there in terms of DSA. Okay, so this
what is what are the major languages?
What are the major languages? Primarily, it is
C++,
Java, Python, and C++. But nowadays, I guess the trend is going towards JavaScript and Go also. So this is the thing. Nextly, like what can be the salary cap? I would like to discuss that as well. So if you're a problem setter, so I have been a problem setter. Like I have worked as a problem setter, part time, you can say. So you can make somewhere between 20,000 to 45,000. Okay, the minimum that you can start with is 20,000. If you are very good, then you can get 45,000 in the starting as well. And if you join us full time, then you will get at least 1 lakh rupees if you are very much proficient and experienced as a problem setter.
Okay, so I would just tweak up a little bit of hack. So there is a small hack that you can set problems on the practice portal of any website out there. You can set problems for coding rounds, okay, like the contest. And the third, which is the most high paying ones, are, let's say a company XYZ wants a hiring challenge. For that, they would kind of give you a contract that you only prepare all the problems, you only test all the problems, you only write the test cases.
Basically hiring you as a freelance problem setter.
And that pays you a hell lot. But it requires a lot of networking as well as a lot of authenticity out there. So you need to first grill up in the practice ones, in the coding contest ones, then you would be going there. Okay, this is the first one.
Okay, so is everyone clear with this? You can write clear in the chat. Is everyone clear with being a problem setter? Then we'll discuss further, right?
Okay, fair enough. So now the very next thing was what?
Technical content writer in terms of DSA.
You can say it more because I have never been a technical content writer.
Yeah,
you have been a technical content writer.
I guess I have written 30 plus articles at GeeksforGeeks in terms of DSA, right?
Okay.
So there are a lot of art websites that are there. Obviously, when do you come across GeeksforGeeks for the very first time in your life? Whenever you search for computer science articles, or most probably DSA or C++ or language based articles, right? So that is when you come across GFG. That is how I came across GFG for the first time. Okay. So basically the thing is that every company, like, content is the king these days, right? Be it video content or written content, right? So even though you have other AI platforms, still websites or documentation is something that you still focus on. So like every company needs problem setters, every company needs technical content writer as well if they are into edtech. Now why? There are two domains in technical content writer as well. One is writing the free articles that are there on their websites. Apart from this, they also have courses, right? Companies also have courses. For example, GeeksforGeeks also has courses, right? And when they have courses, so not only they give you the videos, the live classes, but they also give you the article of that particular topic or those topics. So that is why if you are very proficient in data structures and algorithms, apart from that, if you have a very good habit, or if you have a very good capacity of explaining things in a simple way, Siddharth, right, then you can be a technical content writer as well. And discussing about the salary cap for internship, obviously I'm saying, right, so it would be you can firstly the advantage is that you can get these kind of jobs remotely also, as well as in office.
Remotely is more popular even till date.
Yeah, so the salary cap might be between 15,000 to 30,000 for internship part.
But I would say that there is a small constraint in this too, that the idea you are talking about in the article, if it is decided by you, then it should have a good number of views. Okay, because on the views also, most of the companies that I have seen, they also consider paying you on the basis of views also. Like if you're talking about an idea which is very uncommon and which is the least searched, they give you less payout. So it is absolute, like it is finding the gap as well as which is the need of the hour.
Yeah, whatever is your niche, if you're good at something, right, if you're good at DSA and those topics are still not explained on the internet very well enough, then yes. Because even today GFG keeps on uploading DSA articles, right?
Yeah,
because there's still a lot of gap in terms of DSA as well. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Now the last one is a teaching assistant
and a mentor as well. So like teaching assistant is a subset of mentor. But we'll talk about this, and obviously mentor is also a subset of being a corporate trainer. So we'll discuss all these three in detail, Siddharth, right? This is kind of a teaching job only, right, in terms of DSA, because obviously if there is a requirement, right, so like if basically there is what you can say, like necessity is the mother of invention, right? Like kind of that thing, I hope that everyone can relate. So basically, if you have a demand, right, then there are people who will provide those things also.
Yep.
Right? So if you have demand for learning DSA, obviously, so many people go for self-paced learnings, many require some kind of guidance. So obviously you will have teachers, trainers, instructors, mentors there. So yes,
Okay.
Siddharth, you can go ahead, and you are kind of, I can say, platinum mentor of Geeks for Geeks. So
Absolutely
you can
not.
tell us more about that.
No. So actually, he is kind of the platinum one. He is just pulling my leg. So I would just say one small thing out of this, not just the monetary benefit. There are two things that needs to be noted down. The very first one is that if you are applying for either of this as a mentor, as a teaching assistant, as a problem setter, you won't be asked which college you are from, have you completed your degree, what is your CGPA. These all things, or do you have compartments, do you have any backlogs, these all questions would never be asked. Okay, you can just go out, you have skills, you have the job.
Because
Okay.
I know how many bags he has got, but I'll not mention that online.
No, absolutely. I cleared my backs till the end. Okay. So now the very next thing is that if you are an introvert from the tier one college, because I have been observing students of mine who are from tier one college, they are very good problem solvers, but still they fail DSA interview. Why? Because they can't explain their idea while they are solving. They don't have that so-called practice. Now a very common substitute or a solution to this would be that I would be seeing the mirror and I would be explaining myself. But what I think is you need a motivation to do something. And for me, and for a person who is from a middle class background, I would say money is the best motivation. If you're explaining something, you are gaining something out of it, because see, you are having the practice. Like your DSA is done, you want to continue development with now, and you want to keep the DSA thing in practice. You can teach. You would
Basically,
be.
he's trying to say that if you're good at something, why do it for free?
Yep. No, I think, no, I'm not saying that. I think that never do it for free, because people would kind of not treat you in that way. If you take up lot of money, you would be respected. Like money has some advantages too. It brings happiness. Your mother and father would be saying you, yes, हाँ ये सही कर रहा है, जो कर रहा है सही कर रहा है अभी के लिए. I
Yeah,
think.
but Siddharth, before talking about money, everyone knows, like you can see, we are doing this stream on a MacBook, Siddharth's MacBook Pro. Okay,
No,
so like we all know how much money he has doing work at Geeks for Geeks, that he has been doing so far.
no,
But
absolutely not.
like coming back to the topic again, so Siddharth, as we mentioned, right, there are three roles in terms of teaching. There's one thing, like if you have a batch, suppose a company or a edtech launches a live or a recorded batch, so obviously students will also be having a doubt. Now suppose that a course has a mentor, and the mentor is from Google, right? So the mentor will teach, let's say, 50 students in the batch, okay.
Yep.
Weekend or whenever he is teaching. Now if the students are having doubt, right, the mentor or the guy from Google
Yeah.
won't come and solve their doubts, right? Because if he's taking out time to teach, that's enough, right? He will not come and he will not install ID in your laptop, right? And he will not come and tell you that there is a semicolon missing, or he will not tell you that you have not applied this algorithm correctly. So or he will not tell you that this syntax should be written like this. Okay, so basically for that, companies have teaching assistants. So teaching assistants do what? They basically do doubt solving part. Either it can be in written format, okay, so they might be replying from the backend in chat format, okay, or they might be taking your session in terms of video format. So these are the things that are there in terms of teaching assistant. A teaching assistant also gets paid quite good, depends on your skill, depends on your communication as well. Apart from this, Siddharth, let's talk about the mentorship role or being an instructor of DSA or CP.
Okay. So I would say that you would be able to explain problems. You won't have the idea like many people tell me कि भैया हम बहुत अच्छा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, बट होता क्या है, जब इंटरव्यूअर सामने बैठता है कोई मुझे देखते रहता है, तब मैं एकदम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करके एसी लाना इज डिफिकल्ट. So what I think at this point of time, teaching before a mass or a online or speaking before a camera and having that confidence. If you see up my very first video 3 years before, I was not really that confident and I was shivering like it was back then in December, and I was still having pressure.
I still remember his intro. Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Please give me a +1 in the chat if I am clearly audible as well as equally visible.
Okay, so yep, coming back to picture. So if you talk about the experience, it provides you a backup. Okay, as like you have invested a lot of money at this point of time when you are around in your 20s, you need a money to spend. It would give you a backup, it would give you financial freedom, and if you are little bit good also, you would be able to pay up whole your college fees also. Okay, and you can be like, you would be like, people out there would be noticing you, people out there, like out of 100 people, one people would at least know you if they are from the coding background. Okay, these are all the perks. Talking about the most famous perk is it would give you a backup.
So Siddharth, what are the traits required for being a DSA instructor, CP instructor, or for being a DSA trainer basically?
So I would say that if you are a good problem solver initially, then what you can do is you can simply take up. And as the wheel moves forward, as you collaborate with more teachers, with more co-workers, you would be getting to know how these all works. Now, let me just tell you what is the whole talk about this. Like, let me tell you the like what is for you here. So if you are a person who has done DSA, only DSA, and now wants to continue with dev and wants to crack an SDE job, you can take up a mentorship role if you are an introvert, and if you are shy to talk before your interviewer. You can take up a mentor job, but make sure the time required for that is less. First, if you're not an introvert, if you're extrovert and you have been a lead of any of the clubs back then in your college, okay, if you're an extrovert, you have public speaking skill, you can just take up a small TA job where you would be solving doubts at the end of the day instead of scrolling your Instagram. Your DSA concepts would be revised, you would have a motivation to do, and you would be kind of gaining something out of it.
So I was the head of ragging cell of my college. So will I be eligible for that?
I don't think so, because ragging cell does not require public speaking. Am I correct?
It does require public speaking. You have to keep juniors under control.
Yeah. So you used to rag students, or you used to keep under control in engineering college means that you are ragging students out of that, because the most corrupt ones are the ones who are controlling the students. Okay, fair enough. So at this point, let's now talk in real world at this scenario of recession. Is doing DSA and CP enough, or doing only development is enough? So at this point, it's not the so-called controversy.
It's not versus, it's
Yeah.
both together, right?
It's together. It's now DSA with development.
It's not DSA versus development, it's DSA to development.
Okay. Apart from the few companies who hire solely on development, still most of the companies first round would be on so-called DSA. So DSA is a compulsory for major companies. Okay, because the first round is, so let's say मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा development किया, I'm a master of development, my GitHub whole,
Which he is not.
I learned GitHub during the SDE thing. So fair enough. So if let's say your chart is very green in GitHub, you are very good developer, you can design APIs, you can use web throttling enough, you can do web scraping and all those things, and you have everything about development, but still if you just fail up in the very first round of interview, how you would be showing off your development skill? Can you tell me?
Yes, because even today, like someone who is 35 years old, or let's say who is senior software engineer, right? Or like you can say a tech lead who has been a tech lead also, someone who has been a tech lead, if he's going for a Google interview, he still has to give 1 or 2 rounds of DSA, and then only those other high level design or low level design rounds would follow in Google also.
So how many tech leads have you taught in the past 3 years approximately?
To be very honest, like there was one girl who was there. I would
Don't
say
take the
there
name.
was one woman, right? So I was teaching one CP Life batch, and she was 40 years experienced. Like, sorry, she was 40 years old, not 40 years experience. She was 40 years old, and she was working in Amazon and preparing for Google. So still, she required DSA.
So I had a person from a very reputed company, and he is the engineering manager. Not only that, I have kind of I have taught more than 5 tech leads. 5 to 6 tech leads I have taught in my last 3 years. I have seen the tech leads mostly in the DSA offline. Okay, like that is on the weekends. So I see tech leads a lot in the DSA offline batch. Okay, so even the tech leads do come again and do DSA. So just a quick heads up. We just want to know the feedback. So at this point of time, we have kind of talked about for last 25 minutes. So can you give me a quick rating out of 10? Like,
Yeah.
is this going on a correct track or not? If you
Is it
want,
helping you? Is it
is
like
it
in terms of helpfulness, and in terms of interaction, in terms of whatever we have talked about, right?
Yeah.
That how it can, because the topic is how it can help you to lead a job, and how much dev is also required. So we are talking about combination of all the things, and solely based on DSA also what roles you can get in this recession, being a 23 pass out or 24 pass out. So you can tell us about that. You can give a rating out of 10.
25 or 26 is also involved? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
because like the market trend is not.
Yeah. So quickly, so quickly give me a rating out of 10. If the rating is below 5 and it is a major rating, we would kind of change the direction a little bit. Okay, I think we can do that.
Yeah, we can. We are flexible.
Or we need a script to do that.
No, we don't need a script, but yeah, you can give us the rating so far. Like, how has the session been for you, right?
Okay. So now I would just tell you a small scenario. Okay. What you would face. Okay. So if you have done only DSA and you landed up in a job, the very first problem you would be having is that you don't really know Git. Like,
So
if
he's
you are-
talking about himself.
Yeah,
himself
I am
actually.
talking about myself.
And myself as well.
Yeah, you too as well, because we joined the company at the same point of time. Like our day as a software engineer and his day as the software engineer was together. Okay, so we are talking about ourselves. So we didn't knew even Git, and that gave us a hell lot of problems. We were not even able to make a branch out of it. We had to learn a hell lot back when, but time was absolutely great, and we were interns at that point of time, and companies were kind of entertaining this. But at this point of time, when a person doesn't have any development experience, I think companies would prefer them a hell lot less.
Yes, like now companies want you to start working from day one, so they require developers.
Yep. So now I would just tell you, like, we both are web developers. So I would tell in the context of web developers too. Like, if you don't know what is a
You should not say
400.
web developers. Basically, it's backend developers.
Yep. So talking about the backend developers who are very into,
Because like our especially your work goes into, like, you interact with Android team as well as iOS
Yep.
team. Your works interacts like is visible there as, like, it is used there as well, right?
Yep. So I would just tell you that if you don't know what is the 200 HTTP request, what is a 200 HTTP request, if you don't know what is a 400 bad request, what is 404 not found, I would say that you are kind of going in a wrong path.
Yeah.
Okay. So influencers out there who want to sell out courses, they would be glorifying DSA. Influencers out there who are very good with development, they would be telling you that हाँ development से सब हो जाएगा, open source करो, development करो, DSA की need नहीं है. So they are kind of filling their own bowls with money. If you talk about the ground one, DSA with development.
If someone is
required.
hearing this conversation, so please mention how many times he has taken money word, like how many times he has mentioned money word in this stream. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So
By the way, we know one more person, money, right?
so fair enough. So at this point of time, if you just set up in an interview, the first round would be DSA. So there it would give you a hint, DSA to mujhe karna. The second round won't be of DSA. They would just give you the requirements and they would tell you, can you make up this? What is the meaning of this? What is the asynchronous? How is JavaScript function hoisted or not? Is arrow functions hoisted or not? They would start asking you. And if you don't know, why is that? Because at this point of time, when the number of requirement is less than the number of
Hiring, basically.
Yep, when the number of positions out there is less and the number of engineers are more, they don't want you to take up the salary, use up the salary to learn and then make mistakes, then improve on that mistakes, and then just move forward. Okay, they don't expect you to do that. They want you to have a previous experiences. You know how to resolve merge conflict, you know how to handle git, you know how to fetch branch, how to pull off the branch, wo ticket bana lo jira mein. You should be knowing all of this. So I would say that if you want to be absolutely good, or if you want to crack up a job even in this recession, what you really need to do is do a good amount of CP. I would say that being at specialist at code forces is good to go at this point. Okay. And then talking about the development part, take up a language, do some projects, mention those projects on the resume, and start doing some open source out of it. Okay. Go. And what is the idea of doing open source? What you can do is you can just go to the trending section, use the
By the
language
way,
section.
even after doing all these things, still he has a girlfriend.
Fair enough. So let's just skip this topic. So fair enough. So you can just select up a language out of that, and then you can just take up all the repositories. Okay. And the last few months, you can just change up the tag and you can start contributing. First, don't start contributing. Either you can be banned out of that community also. So first, see all the resolved queries. Okay, like what was the solution of this issue? Okay, what was the pull request? What kind of pull request was resolved? What is class based implementation? What is view based implementation? And all those, what is function based, class based? Okay. And then you should also be knowing how to implement low level design also. Okay, you should be knowing that yes, what is meant by solid principle, what is single responsibility, how can we use that, how can we use inheritance principle. Okay, we you should be knowing out of this. Okay, fair enough. On a serious note, how on a serious note, yep, this needs to be addressed. Let's just address him. On a serious note, OA of any companies more tends to be CP. So if anyone solving problems more from GFG to lead code, how he can clear the OA round.
Siddharth, on this I would like to add, like you cannot say that if someone is solving GFG, so he won't be able to clear OA. If you will see, I guess you have not seen or you have not explored much of GFG weekly contest. Okay, so I would highly request you to go through the GFG weekly contest. Just search for GFG weekly contest. You will get this face, this man, and you will get the GFG platform, like GFG practice platform, and you will see a lot of GFG weekly contests that happen every Sunday, I guess at 8 or 7, whatever time it is. But if you will solve those contests, then I can assure you that definitely you will get you will be able to perform well in the online assessments as well, because when GFG has those weekly contests, so they make sure that the questions that they are preparing, they are very much aligned with the current trend of the online assessment. What do you think, Siddharth?
Even lead code too.
Yeah.
Even lead code too. The questions, they are kind of towards the CP side. But to be on the safer side, you can just start off competitive programming, go till the point of specialist. What do you think? So if you go on the expert point, I would say you are on a very safer line. Like if you are an expert at code forces, I think majority of the companies OAs, you would be able to clear that round. Okay, fair enough. Sir, I'm interested in data field scientist. So what is the plan for me? I have a knowledge of DSA and web development and backend, and learn the data scientist tech from the starting. So you don't really require that amount of DSA. I would say that like lower down your focus on DSA. Okay. And then start exploring opportunities of doing higher studies.
But I will say, like if someone is so good, like if someone is so confident of being good in DSA, web development, backend, and all. So why to switch in data science? Like, why not just right now? Why not just take a job, get some experience, and then eventually in that company, or eventually with time, you will be able to explore whether data science is for you or not. Okay.
I think you should be open for exploration. For the first 5 years of industry, you should be open for exploration. Me and you are also open for exploration. Also, we are doing the SD job from 9 to 5, and from 6 to 7 we are streaming right there. So we are also exploring, and you can explore too, even at this point of time. So now let us just answer this.
Let's answer this question quickly.
How
Can we do DSA with JavaScript? Definitely, since I have been teaching. So I've been teaching for 2.5 years exactly now. And I'll say that people for the past 1 year, people have started doing DSA in JavaScript as well. Even GFG also provides JavaScript language support to submit the problems. So yes, you can do DSA in JavaScript, because obviously there's a trend in companies in terms of work, as well as in people also. They don't want to learn a new language, right? So you can do DSA in JavaScript. What do you think, Siddharth?
I think a person who is really interested in front end, who is really into front end, they should be doing DSA with JavaScript, because they would know the small things like hoisting and all, the small asynchronous behavior, promises and all, these all things. Okay. Now, how much dev is necessary? Let's answer this. This is an interesting question.
How much dev is necessary?
Yeah, this one. How much dev is necessary? You should be able to resolve conflicts. Let's talk about the backend backend.
Resolving conflicts has been a nightmare for you.
No, actually not. The thing is that if you're working on a personal project, you would never get a conflict.
But when people work on the same master branch, they
Yeah.
update before you. Then after that, you try to merge your. Then
This is the first thing. Then you should be knowing that what is caching. Like you should be knowing what is caching, what is CloudFront, what is Redis. You should be knowing till this point. So I would be just saying about backend. So you should be knowing all these terms. Okay, like the Amazon pipeline, CI/CD pipeline.
forget about everything. You should be knowing like what happens. The very first question many times when somebody goes for an interview is what happens when you search for, let's say something like let's say what happens when you search something in the URL. So what happens then, right? If you will just search this question even now, right? What happens when you search something on the internet? How does it work? So firstly, what happens is there's a request that goes, right? HTTP, then you will come across HTTPS, then how the data is fetched from backend, front end, and all those things. So like you will get across these things. You should know fundamentals of computer networks, TCP, IP, and other things. What do you think, Siddharth?
Yep.
Encryption, decryption,
Like
that happens. Backend calls, then caching also will come into play.
yep, like a very small thing, like the Google search engine, the type head it uses, the optimization it uses. Like when you stop typing, then only it shows you suggestions.
Basically the auto suggestion that is there on any
Yep.
platform. If you suppose if you just search jacket, okay, then Amazon will show you under 30,000, under 10,000, under 5,000. That is what Siddharth's Amazon suggests, right? Because he has a very high paying capacity.
So just just a quick heads up. Me and Yash Dwivedi are friends. Like out
don't
from
take it
office.
seriously. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Don't take us seriously. Me and Yash Dwivedi are friends, like informally too. Like out of the we are not just office buddies. We share many things in common. Like out of office, we spend time together a lot. So he is seen.
Now he has a girlfriend, so
Absolutely not. Okay, so okay, fair enough. By the way, Yash Dwivedi has a girlfriend at this point of time.
So
is there any DSA live courses that you guys are bringing? What about you, Yash Dwivedi?
So
Do you have any plan?
as of now, like Siddharth is going to take a DSA course, right? So you can enroll in his course. You can ask him, like he's
No.
going to take a course at GFG.
No, at this point of time, I might take two or three more batches of DSA offline, and then I would be shifting to system design. Like I would be taking up a big course of system design or something. And now the very next one, I think I have no confidence for this. Do you think a person who's hi sir, what do you think if a person is ready for coding interview? I think I have no confidence for this. I face rejections a hell lot. After a certain point of time, when you would be facing rejection every then and now, there would be nothing like confidence, there would be nothing like loss of motivation. You would be just behaving like a zombie, you would be giving up interviews, you won't be feeling nothing, you would be feeling numb at this point in this recession, I think so. Okay, sir, how to know if myself is ready? Any judge standard? I would say just if you are rejected in the so if you
I would like to answer this question, right? You were saying that you are not ready. Even today, I feel that I'm not ready for Google interview. Even today, I feel that maybe I'm not ready for, let's say, D show interview. Even today, I feel that maybe I'm not ready for an Amazon interview if I get a call.
Are
So even today, he also feels the
see,
same.
I would just say you a small thing which you have been hearing this a lot. एक बात बताऊं, कभी सुना कॉलेज में कि पहले पहले डीएसए खत्म कर लेता हूँ, उसके बाद सीपी करूंगा, या उसके बाद
Looking for that perfect moment.
उसके बाद ऑनलाइन प्रॉब्लम्स करूंगा? सोचा कभी? होता है ना, सुना है ना? So that is the point of thing, that there is no, like, if your brain knows that you would be in the comfort zone till the point you're ready, your brain would never make you ready. Okay, if your brain knows that he would keep the person associated would keep me in the comfort level, he would go out, face rejection. If you are not getting referrals, that means you are not ready. If you're getting referrals and getting rejected in the first round, that means you are half of the ready. If you are getting rejected in the second round, that means that yes, you are now ready to clear up the jobs. Okay, so now let's one-to-one classroom courses are better. What is your opinion? I'm a mentor. Please enroll in my course. Okay, so hello sir, which projects are currently in third year? So it entirely depends on two things. If you have an interest in particular domain, start off with that. If you don't have something out of that, take up the tech, which is which is more talked about in the industry. Okay. Currently, I mean, months ago, I think it is the same thing. Okay. क्या है भाई, इतना क्या है, क्या कर दिया मैंने तुम्हारा भाई, कुछ दिक्कत विक्कत है क्या?
So yeah, like you have answered this question, Siddharth.
I'm currently got an idea, but I'm unable to perform good in code forces. Give some suggestion, please. Currently started learning Java backend. Thank you. So if you are a knight in lead code, so the questions there are very DSA specific. Okay, that means that you are just low on ad hoc problems or constructive level problems or math level problems.
I guess you should give more Division 3 contest as of now. Once you give 15 Division 3 contest, you can message me or Siddharth and you can tell us that yes, you have improved a lot.
Yep, ABC of ad coders too. ABC of ad coders too. Okay, so I think we are good to go at this point of time. We have replied to all the
but Siddharth, we have put in a lot of effort in this stream. Okay, discussing a lot about money also, right? So the thing is that you all should hit the like button, because the number of likes doesn't reflect the amount of effort that we have put in so far.
कर देंगे अच्छे बच्चे.
Okay,
अरे
so
सब
please
अच्छे.
please make sure to hit the like button and give us a +1 if you have enjoyed this
How much
stream.
is the like?
Like count is very less even compared to the number of people who are there. The like
Please
count is pretty
increase
less.
the like count
So
again.
please give us a +1 in the chat. Okay, if you have liked this stream overall, if it has been helpful for you so far. And also one more thing, like just give. Can you?
Okay, so now the stream would be ending off. I don't know how many of you like the duo of us in an on-screen in a live. Okay, like we talk a hell lot out of the track also. So can you tell us that what is your views on this? You would like to have more discussions?
See, I will not accept any discount in terms of likes or +1s in the chat. Okay, so if like, see, you you want us to be like, you want DSA teachers or mentors to be just act like professors, you can do that. If you enjoy this conversation, like very much, what you can say, it's unofficial conversation, right? It's not that we are too much constrained on a script or something. We are just talking like in terms of podcast only, right? So you should give us a +1. You should acknowledge this. If you acknowledge this, then it gives us motivation. It gives us encouragement, so that we can
So
bring
no,
more such content.
no. I think the small context is that we are still an employee. We are not independent creators. So if you comment on the video, okay, we would be able to justify that yes, people want more videos of us. We would be able to justify this to the higher authority too. And if you just comment it up, GFG would bring it upon themselves.
And
We
not
don't
o-
really need to justify.
And not only this, once this stream is over, you can tell us that how helpful this stream was for you. And apart from this, in the comment section, you can mention that regarding what all topics separately you want a podcast,
Yeah,
or you want a one-on-one conversation.
I think we can just take up a suggestion of the next live from them.
Yes.
Okay, so suggest your next topic of discussion for the next live. Now, इसको reply कर देते यार, ये काफी प्यार से बोला, मेरा भी reply कर दो. Okay.
He was asking third year. Yeah.
This one, sir, hello, I am in third year. What should I get to do to get a good job? Do DSA, try out competitive programming, okay, get a decent rank, and then start doing development.
But
Do both
even
of
after doing so much, how you are able to still maintain a girlfriend?
No, actually not. Actually not. He is making just fun of me. I think we both can't really have, like, we are just pursuing two jobs still at this point of time, and we don't have any point. How to overcome tiredness by solving continuous problems, and how to get motivated. I have 5 to 6 problems, but it's hard to participate in a contest. So I would say be good, be a problem setter or a tester. You would be solving problems, and the motivation would be that you are earning money out of that. At this point of time, when you are not that good, I would say the motivation for you would be that if you do good, you have many things waiting. Okay, मुझे आज भी याद है.
Someone is waiting for him outside.
No, मुझे आज
The
भी
office.
No, absolutely not. So मुझे आज भी याद है. मैं एक बात बताता हूँ. मैंने ना एक वीडियो देखी थी. Okay, like that's a true story, I would say. Okay, so I would say ये ट्रू स्टोरी था कि मैंने एक वीडियो देखी थी लॉकडाउन पे, जिसमें स्ट्राइवर ने कहा था कि आई बॉट अ स्कूटी आउट ऑफ द अर्निंग्स आई हैव डन.
And he bought an Apache.
Yep. So I bought a bike. Like I think out of 10 people, 3 would be bike enthusiasts. Okay. So what happened was it clicked my mind कि अगर मैं problem solve करूंगा और उससे कमाऊंगा तो my bike. And you know the first thing I bought with after joining my service would be
like, I would like to add one thing. क्या पढ़ना है वो बता दिया, कैसे पढ़ना है वो बता दिया, कमाने के बाद क्या करना है वो भी बता रहा है. अब इसके लिए तो हिट लाइक कर
no, मैं अपना स्टोरी बता रहा हूँ और सच में ऐसा हुआ.
So he told you about like what to do in DSA, what to do in dev, what to do in terms of CS fundamentals, what to do in terms of low level design. He told you, he's now telling you roadmap to spend your money, how to spend your money as well. So you can hit a +1 and hit the like button for Siddharth Hazra.
ये रोड मैप नहीं है, ये सच में एक्सपीरियंस है कि ऐसा है कि I saw Striver and he told me that I bought a scooty out of the money I have earned. So the first thing I bought after joining my salary, I didn't buy anything. The first thing I did was I bought a bike. The very first thing I did was and I bought a bike in my second year. So कुछ तो बात है.
Being from a tier 4 college.
So fair enough. So now give out all your suggestions for the next live in the form of comments. And if you have no suggestion, rate up this session so that we can justify that yes, people out there watching our sessions are liking our talk and we can justify it. That's it for today. If you're watching this,
before that, we have one more question: how to get first job? So
I don't know, he's suggesting this title. Separate session चाहिए यार.
I thought it's a Q&A.
Okay, can I get code word? I just wanted to know Arey, bilkul, bilkul. Okay, fair enough. So now the thing is, what you should be doing is, so if you're watching this stream in the recorded version, kindly like and comment on the video and share it as much as you can, so that the reach of this video could be increased and this work could be justified. Give out your rating, give out your topic for the next stream. If you have any
Yeah, so after the video will be over, so there will be a comment section that will appear on your screen, right? After the video is over, just refresh it and there would be a comment section appearing below this video. So there you can suggest the topics, and if this was really helpful, genuinely, then make sure to tell us about that as well. We'll be very happy to know your feedbacks. And if there's anything that you think that we can improve on, so do tell us about that also. We'll be very much interested to improve on those points as well. What do you think, Siddharth?
हाँ यस द्विवेदी को नहाने के लिए बोल दिया करो. चलो, that's it for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye, guys.
Thanks for joining in.